They're beautiful, they're talented, and beloved by millions. But behind the glitz, stars like Halle Bailey and Skai Jackson are just women, often finding themselves in relationships that raise eyebrows and concern. When Halle Bailey, Disney's new Ariel, went public with her relationship with the YouTuber, streamer, and rapper DDG, fans were very skeptical and concerned, including me. And I'm not trying to job shame or anything, that's not what I'm trying to do. A job is a job, like if it gives you money, it gives you money. But I feel like who Halle is, the way she carries herself, her playing a role for Disney. Halle is a Hollywood star. Okay, she's playing a big role for Disney, one of the biggest movies of the year. I feel like it could have been a lot bigger if, you know, all of those racists weren't spazzing out about some black person playing a cartoon fish. But anyways, she is where she is, right? And then DDG is a YouTuber, streamer, and failed rapper selling like 10k first week. But anyways, we won't talk about that. So they're just on different levels. No matter how you try to flip it, bop it, twist it, they're on different levels. So I was always very skeptical about like how I was just very kind of concerned, skeptical. I didn't know how this was going to work. And then we have Skai Jackson. And although their situations are, well, their careers are kind of a little bit different, you know, they have kind of different paths. They're all very kind of similar. And I feel like Skai Jackson, Halle Bailey, their situations kind of overlap. Skai Jackson, if you don't know who she is, she was, before the situation I'm going to talk about, she was like one of America's little sweethearts. She featured on one of her biggest roles, I think to date really, where she played the character Zuri on Disney Channel for the Disney show Jessie, and that's where a lot of people know her from. And she's had some weird relationships as well. Before the one I'm going to talk about with Yaki, she's had some weird relationships. I remember when she was dating Jules, and Jules leaked some private pictures and messages between them. Even after the stuff of Skai being kind of leaked and stuff like that, people still had a positive light on her. But it wasn't until she started getting entangled with her baby daddy Yaki. I'm gonna have to say, first of all, why the hell are you dating a guy called Yaki? That was the first red flag. You should have not entertained that as soon as you found out his name was Yaki. Okay, Skai Jackson. So I'm gonna forever hold that against you. I don't care. That was crazy work. But anyways, Yaki, that's just his like street name. Okay, his actual name is DeAndre. Like, how do we get from DeAndre to Yaki? I don't know. But Skai Jackson has filed a restraining order against her ex-boyfriend, Yaki, or his real name, DeAndre Bergen, the father of her son. This is where it starts to get a bit messy, and this is where I'm like, okay, this is getting out of hand. Okay, so what Skai is basically alleging or saying, because I can't say that it is fact or truth, okay, it's all alleged. I'm not trying to catch a case, okay. I'm going to state this now and state this in future videos. All the things that I say are just alleged, and it's information that you can get on the internet for free. Skai alleges that Yaki assaulted her on Mother's Day while she was holding her child. And Skai Jackson said in these documents that Yaki grabbed her hair, yep, that's right guys, grabbed her hair, slammed her head into a car window and punching her. Guys, let's just like, I remember reading this and I was in shock. She also detailed a pattern of abuse over 6 months, including, I'm gonna have to edit this out, choking, scratching, and threat with a knife. Last icing on the cake, the one that really does bother me and get to me, is where Skai says that Yaki basically told her to drink bleach while she was pregnant. And then on top of him saying drink bleach, okay, he threatened to poke her with a knife. Okay, so this is a lot. This is all a lot. And you have to remember, Skai Jackson is very young. She's only a couple years older. I think she's about 23, 24. So I'm 21. So I'm just traumatized by reading this, okay? Let alone by even ever experiencing this. In these court documents, she also provided some stuff that was damaged, like in her property. Okay, so property damage. Yaki allegedly broke one of Skai Jackson's bathroom doors, and then he went on to physically assault her again. And what I am going to say, I think I'm just going to start off with Skai Jackson first, okay? Skai Jackson, what confused me with Skai Jackson is that she is a beautiful girl, okay? And I'm going to say it for Halle as well. Halle's a beautiful girl. They're both beautiful, stunning women. But what confuses me is that, you know, Skai Jackson went out of her way to pick Yaki. It wasn't like he approached her and they started kikiing, ha-haing and whatever and dating. No. they initially met when Yaki was in prison, was helping him out, chatting to him whenever during the day, whatever he was doing, okay, helping him out whilst he was in prison. And I don't know what it is, but there's this epidemic with women, especially black women, okay, I rarely see this with white women, but for some reason, I don't know what it is, with black women, it's like really, really high, where they will get to a point in their career where they are so educated, they are successful, they have the money, the maybe fame, or they're like financially secure and whatever, and then they'll go and seek out men who are respectfully beneath them. Because someone like Skai Jackson, even after Jessie, she could have really capitalized on that and went even bigger and been a bigger star. I feel like she could have still been affiliated with Disney in some way, because she has that kind of like, well, before this, she had that kind of like kid-friendly, like ha ha ha, you know, kind of vibe. And I still think she could have worked at Disney and still could have got a decent bag to support not only herself, but now her child as well. It just baffles me. Like, is it something like a trauma response? And some people might be laughing in the comments, but no, I'm being serious. Is it like a trauma response? Like, you didn't grow up with a father figure, you didn't grow up with many male figures in your household, so you go and seek what you think is best? Is that what the case is? I really don't know. I'm trying to find out, because there's no reason for someone like Skai Jackson, not only with her beauty, her talent, her finances, to be seeking someone who's in jail, and then on top of that has multiple baby mums and kids. So Skai Jackson, you're not even the first baby mama, you're like the 10,000th baby mama. And before I finish with Yaki, so he was incarcerated in November 2024 for violating his parole related to a prior case involving theft and weapon possession during his time as a juvenile. He was serving 90-day sentence at the Hamilton County Jail in Ohio and was expected to be released in February 2025. And then Skai Jackson ended up giving birth to her son, Kasai, in January 2025. And all I'm going to say is that just sounds like a whole heap of just too much, okay? Because when you're pregnant, you should not be facing any stress. When you're pregnant, your pregnancy should be like the most smooth, happy experience. You should be happy, right? You're going to bring in a human being into this world. That should be so joyful and happy. A woman shouldn't be getting flipping choked and beaten and they've been told to drink bleach. That is horrific. That is horrible. Okay. And I know a lot of people are clowning Skai Jackson and saying how stupid she is, which, okay, I get where you're coming from, but I feel like multiple people just kind of, you know, calling her stupid but not giving her an actual kind of resolution or something, a plan that she can actually go forward with is crazy work. In my opinion, I feel like Skai Jackson needs to, you know, sort herself out, you know, go for her postpartum, take care of her child, raise her child without Yaki. He does not deserve to be in this picture. And then from there on, I think she needs to kind of hone in on her acting, because I don't know if you guys have watched the audition tape where she wanted to audition for Euphoria, and that was terrible.
You'd rather be doing like bribing your way into college or expanding your carbon footprint? What is your problem with me? I'm sorry, do I know you? No. But let me guess, you're the heiress to the Colgate dynasty or niece to the 3rd Earl of Kensington?
I'm not gonna lie, that was terrible. I was like, thank God the Euphoria people were like, no. But I think if Skai Jackson was to hone in on her acting, get some acting classes, whatever, she has the money to do it, she has the resources, hone in on that craft, get better at it, take a year or so, maybe off of social media, take a year to really practice and hone in, and then go auditioning for different roles that you think would be best for you. Go auditioning, even if it's like small roles or something where the character's in it for like 10 minutes. At least it's better than nothing, and at least you still get a bag, okay? And then if the acting doesn't work, let's just say the acting is just falls through and nothing works, okay, then she's gonna have to go the influencer route. I feel like Skai Jackson, she could do a lot more than just being an influencer, in my opinion. I think she has a lot more to offer, a lot more to do than just being an influencer. I don't get it. I don't get what Skai Jackson saw in Yaki. I don't get why she wanted to be with him. And I think this might kind of go down to the whole rap culture, the whole like ratchet kind of use a man for money, kind of have a baby daddy culture in music. And I feel like that this Skai Jackson's situation is what happens when you take like the city girls or like Sexy Red or like baby daddy, baby mama culture too seriously, and you forget that it's just entertainment. Because some women listen to that music and they're like, right, that's how I want my life to be. No, you do not want your life to be like that. And people forget, like Sexy Red and the city girls, they're doing it for pure entertainment. Okay, they're doing it to make money and dip. The stuff that they be rapping about, it probably likely really did not ever happen in their lives. Okay, they, like, for example, the city girls used to be like, oh, use a guy for their money, whilst they were both booed up and they had kids, or Carisha had kids anyways, and JT was booed up. Although Yaki did abuse her, and that should never happen to anyone, and that's really gross and disgusting. At the end of the day, I feel like Skai Jackson needs to take accountability, because you chose him. Okay, you decided to choose him. Out of the whole pool of men in the industry, Skai Jackson could have chose someone who was really up there. She could have chose someone who had their life together, who had their finances together, someone without a criminal freaking record, someone with no baby mamas and kids. Okay, someone who wants to marry her, make them their wife, right? But no, she decided to choose down because she thought it would be cool to date someone who's in prison and to date a gangster. But no, look at you now. You had someone choking you out, telling you to drink bleach, whatever, and beating you up. That's what happens. You're dating someone from prison. What do you expect? Skai Jackson has to take accountability. I chose the wrong person. Not only did I choose the wrong person, but I chose to lay down with that person and to have another kid that he probably won't even be involved in the kid's life ever, because I just don't think he cares. If he told Skai to drink bleach and was beating her up, smacking her, whatever, like, I highly doubt that he's going to be involved in that child's life ever. Right, Miss Halle Bailey, we have some stuff to talk about. Okay, there's a lot to get through, but one thing I will say is that Halle Bailey, Skai Jackson, this is not anything really new. Okay, these type of things happen in the industry all the freaking time and time again. We continue to watch powerful women who are kind of getting their way up in the industry end up with relationships with men who don't really match their value or don't really match what they offer. Hollywood is full of men who want the image of a strong woman but can't handle her reality, and sometimes women fall into the trap of thinking they can love someone and kind of change them, if that makes sense. I'm not saying that DDG was jealous of Halle, but I think at certain moments he was, okay, because a lot of people or men in the industry, they love the thought of dating like a Hollywood star or dating a woman who's really educated and powerful. But then once they're actually in that relationship, they find out, wait a minute, this woman is she's too educated, or this woman is too powerful, or this woman is too influential, or this woman is too talented, right? And I found moments in the rollout of The Little Mermaid, DDG was kind of showing his true colors of who he was, and Halle should have dropped him like a hot flipping potato or hot cake, because he was low-key, high-key ruining the rollout of The Little Mermaid. I'm pretty sure he make some burner accounts saying some stuff. I remember there was pictures of Halle and her co-star, I've forgotten his name, the white guy, right? And he was like being like, oh, I'm not bothered about this, or they can do what they want. But it was low-key high-key giving jealous, right? So first mistake that Halle made was she chose DDG. That's first of all, okay? So basically, if you don't know, Halle has went out of her way to put a restraining order against DDG, and in the restraining order she basically says how he was putting his hands on her for a really long time, and they had a bit of an abusive relationship even before Halo was born. There are pictures online that she's obviously given to court to prove that he was putting his hands on her. She has bruises on her upper middle arm, and then she has a chipped tooth. And she's saying the reason why she got the chipped tooth is because DDG slammed her face into a car. So she's saying that she was putting Halo in the back of DDG's car, and then somehow, some way, she gets her face slammed into the steering wheel. And the one thing that I was kind of expecting to see with the whole chipped tooth thing is that I was expecting to see like some bruising, some swelling somewhere, okay, around her nose, around somewhere. The chip that I saw, the chip was like, I don't know, like maybe you bit into some ice and your tooth chipped, or you bit into like, I don't know, something that was a little bit too hard for your teeth are sensitive. That's what it was giving. So I'm just saying, if a grown man slammed my face into a steering wheel, you best believe I might have some bruising, a swollen lip, my nose might be a bit sore or something, but it was just a chipped tooth. From then on, I was just like, what the heliante is going on? The reason why Halle is getting a lot of bad press right now is because we have people like Megan the Liar who can't freaking tell one truth. So Megan Thee Stallion is the reason why a lot of black women in the industry aren't even getting believed. You have people like Cassie, where people online are calling her a liar, even though she has pictures where her eyebrow is busted. Okay, she has a fat wound and it's gushing with blood. She has busted lips, right? And people are still calling her a liar because we have people like Megan Thee Stallion who can't freaking stop telling a lie. So I'm just hoping that people actually take the Halle Bailey and DDG thing seriously. And then we have DDG's friends coming to the rescue to say, no, one time DDG told me that Halle just slapped him randomly, put her hands on him, right?
She used to smack the shit out of him on the bed. He chilling. She smacking the shit out of him. Real shit. Bow. You sitting on in his bed. Bow. Like, real shit.
And I'm just saying, DDG to me has always been a cornball. He always will be, forever will be. I don't think DDG is slow mentally or anything. I don't think he's like Cardi B slow or anything, because that's an insult to anyone, to be honest. But I think he craves attention and he craves the validation of people online. And what Halle said in her restraining order is that not only did he put her hands on her, right, but he also got his fan base to harass her online. DDG wanted to get Halo from Halle. Halle basically said, no, you can't have Halo because he's sick and he's under the weather.
I just want to come on here and tell you guys why I'm not posting. Me and Halo are very sick. We have RSV and we do not feel good at all.
And then he went online and said, I can't see Halo because my Haley isn't letting me see him. Oh, it was such a waste of a drive to go and drive all the way there because Halle lives so far away and I just want to see my son.
Never get him dropped off. I always go pick him up. I live far as shit. So I'm driving hours to go get him, and then I get there and I can't get him. I can't see him. My son is sick right now. I want to see my son. I want to hold my son.
So he went online, did that. And then obviously all of DDG's fans, like the 10-year-old fans, came online, start harassing Halle. Because you are co-parenting, newsflash DDG, you can't just take your son whenever you want. Okay, yes, he is your son, but you're co-parenting, and clearly you and Halle have the worst communication I've probably seen in a seriously long time. And that's what happens when you co-parent. How many times on the internet do people tell you before having a kid with someone, you need to actually get married to them and know them? Because Halle and DDG didn't even know each other like that. They'd only been dating for like, what, maybe a year or so before they had Halo, and then you had a kid, and then you're not even married as well. You guys might not like what I'm gonna have to say, but I feel like having a kid with someone without a ring is crazy work. Okay, especially as a woman of color, a black woman, having a kid and you don't even have a ring. Okay, as a black woman, there's a higher chance that you can die, okay, giving birth to a child, and you're doing all of that for a guy you're not even married to. Oof, crazy work. You guys cannot convince me, twist it, bop it, and be like, oh, marriage doesn't matter, oh, it can come later. Guys, let's just not. Okay, I can't really speak for anyone else, but that's crazy work. Okay, you could literally die having a kid, and you're doing that for some online YouTube streamer cornball. There is the story online where people are saying that Halle took Halo on a holiday, and she was on holiday with Halo and Brent Faiyaz. Like, this is crazy work. So not only that, but then DDG accuses Halle of cheating on him with Brent Faiyaz and taking Halo on holiday with Brent Faiyaz. And what I find really crazy is that Brent Faiyaz didn't say nothing. Like, Brent Faiyaz is so nonchalant and chill that he just, like, he either didn't see it, people talking about him saying that, or he saw it and just didn't care. And either way, he just didn't care, to be honest. And what I find with DDG is that, like I said, he craves attention and he wants the attention, that he always comes online when something doesn't go his way or Halle doesn't let him see Halo. He'll be like, I can't see my son. I should be able to see my son because he is my son. If you have evidence that Halle was putting her hands on you like you claim, okay, because DDG has said in a couple clips, like kind of when they're dating.
But leave Halle alone, man. Mentally, I don't know what she's going through when it comes to postpartum. She just pushed the whole human out. She dealing with a whole new life. The stuff that I go
like, oh, Halle has her days, she has her moments, like, you know, and I just don't want people to see her in this way and in this public light, right? And I'm just like, if you have evidence that Halle was putting her hands on you, release it, give it to the court people, to the lawyers, because you saying that Halle's put her hands on you and just posting that online, or insinuating that she has, and your friends and family insinuating that as well, I can't do anything. I'm just sitting here yapping in my bedroom, making a video out of your relationship failing. Okay, I really can't do anything. Getting sympathy from Black Twitter, getting sympathy from DDG's like 10-year-old fans is not gonna help to see your son. Okay, so if you have that evidence, go give it to court, go give it to a lawyer. I cannot do anything. Okay, I'm living across the pond from you. I really can't help you, DDG. Okay, and if that is the case, that Halle did put her hand on you, okay, prove me wrong and prove me wrong that I don't think that you are the guy that you are. Prove me wrong. But if not, because it's been crickets, it's been silence, and I haven't seen anything on X, and I haven't seen anything that, you know, clips of Halle being abusive towards DDG yet, or whatever, then, you know, I'm gonna keep it pushing, and I'm gonna just kind of, you know, keep my side of Halle. Okay, I'm just gonna, you know, continue to kind of be on Halle's side. I'm not saying that DDG does not love his son Halo, but if you ever notice, if you go on his social media accounts, the videos and the clips where Halo is there, where it's Halo memes, Halo funny like pictures where he's making funny faces, those are the posts that get the most engagement, the most likes. So he's literally monetizing, like making money off of his child. So that's why Halle is always hesitant to give him Halo, because every time she gives him Halo, she finds Halo on some random stream. She finds him doing whatever, clips on Snapchat and whatever. And to be honest, I feel like Halle should have been knew that, okay? Like everything that DDG does is very public. All of his past relationships were very public online to see still to this day. I feel like if you are dating a vlogger, a streamer, a YouTuber, who does the content that like DDG does, then you have to know when you date a type of person who does that content, or a kid or a family with that person, you have to know that they're probably going to post that everywhere. It's going to be a part of their brand. Especially, you know how family YouTubers get down. As soon as their kid is born, they love showing their kid on YouTube. They love showing their kids online and monetizing money off of them. The chip tooth thing is kind of making me feel a bit weird. I really don't know. I'm hoping and praying that Halle was not putting her hands on him and then him putting her hands on her, and then it just escalating multiple times over a couple months or years. But DDG has not got that evidence yet, so I'm just saying Halle has got the bruises on her arms to show, and I think DDG needs to be more patient, and he needs to learn how to co-parent. Okay, because you can't just keep showing up to Halle's house when you want to. You can't just keep showing up and going into her bedroom and whatever when you want to, because you are not together. You are not in a relationship. You are co-parenting. This is just what happens. Having kids before you're not married, doing this, doing that. I just keep telling y'all, like, you better be careful, okay? Having kids before you're married, doing all of that, moving in with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, it literally prolongs you from getting married. So all the women out there who want to get married, who want to settle down, have a family, but then they move in with their boyfriend and their girlfriend, or they do stuff that they shouldn't be doing, right? I'm like, you're just prolonging that time of you actually getting married, because the guy in the relationship would just be like, what's the point of getting married if we're already living like we're married, like we're moving together, we're already smashing anyways? What's the point, right? So then that's why you get a lot of women who be like, oh, I've been dating my boyfriend for 10 years and he still hasn't married. And then when you ask them questions, they've already moved in with their boyfriend, they're already smashing each other, or they've already had a kid. So I'm like, yeah, of course in his mind he doesn't care to get married, because you're already living the married freaking lifestyle. That's why I keep saying, if you look at all the Hollywood couples where they actually take things slow, they get to know each other first, those are the women that actually are engaged or married. Look at what's her name, Zendaya and I've forgotten his name, Tom Holland, right? Look how they took time to know each other. They became friends first, they knew each other, they spent time together, and now she's got a fat rock on her finger. But all these women who are just blindly dating random guys who are not even on their level, okay, don't even compete or compare with them, and they start laying down with them, having kids, moving in with each other, and look at what's happening. Okay, you guys need to take a book out of Zendaya's page, okay? Take a page out of her book. she needs to write a book, because she really chose someone who was on her level, if not a little bit higher. I think if DDG wants to get his son, he needs to stop flipping posting Halo online, and he needs to freaking give us the evidence if that is the case, because I don't know why DDG has this tendency of wanting to always protect Halle's public image. If someone put their hands on me, I'm not saying Halle did, but I'm saying if my partner put their hands on me and there was some famous YouTuber, some famous like celebrity, I really do not care. I'm going to give you the evidence, and I'm going to show you that they're putting their hands on me, point blank period. And I'm going to end your career whilst I'm at it as well. Okay, and I'm going to do it gladly and happily. Okay, so DDG, you need to stop protecting Halle if she did something to you. And you need to give us that evidence and show us ASAP a Tito. And I think I said this before, but what baffles me is that Skai Jackson and Halle Bailey, they have all the resources to pick men who are even above them or on the same level, but they just choose not to. They choose not to. There's so many examples, like Kiki Palmer and her baby dad. Like it's an epidemic. I really do not know why, what causes it. It needs to be studied. It needs to be investigated. It needs to be scientifically studied, because I think with these type of cases, although what happened to Halle and Skai was unfortunate, at the same time I feel like they both need to, and all the other women who have similar situations need to kind of hold themselves accountable and look at themselves in the mirror. Look at the man in the mirror. Oh yeah, I'm starting to change. Okay, yeah, they need to look at the man in the mirror and be like, you know what? Like, yeah, what happened to me was disgusting and unfortunate, but at the same time, I picked the most cornball, disgusting guys ever. So at the same time, it's kind of like there is no one really to blame. Like, obviously what happened to you is disgusting, yeah, it's gross, but at the same time, you're the one who went out your way to pick that person. You're the one who went out the way to date that person. And I low-key high-key think DDG and Yaki only dated Halle and Skai to get their 10 minutes of fame, because I'm not gonna lie, before Halle dating DDG, like, I knew of him, but he wasn't really in my face as much as he was when he was with Halle on these red carpets and walking around. Like, I didn't really care for DDG. No tea, no shade. But as soon as he got with Halle Bailey, as soon as he got with her and he's walking all these red carpets at the AMAs and the Grammys, because let's face it, if he wasn't with Halle, he wouldn't have been walking the red carpets at the Grammys. He wouldn't have been walking the red carpets at the AMAs. Maybe at the BET Awards, but not at the Grammys, not the AMAs, the VMAs, all of that. So I feel like Halle was DDG's ticket into these higher up spaces, and he was able to probably get a lot of connections and a lot of relationships through Halle. So I'm just saying, Yaki, he got his 10 minutes of fame, because still to this day we're still talking about him. I'm still talking about him. To this day we're still talking about DDG. I'm still talking about him. Just be careful out there, okay? It's a cold world we're living in, as Future says. It's a cold, did he say evil or cold?
It's an evil world we live in, but hey, I'm gonna keep living and loving life.
Oh my gosh, guys, this is editing me. I was about to literally dip and leave, y'all. Okay, I was about to literally dip and leave without saying nothing. Okay, but thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do freaking appreciate it, especially if you've made it to the end of the video. I know this has been a long one. I have not done long videos in a seriously long time on my channel. If you're an OG, you used to know I used to do really long videos all the time. But thank you so much for watching and getting to this point of the video. I appreciate it. Subscribe, press the bell icon so you're notified, and give this video a cheeky like, and tell me what you think about these situations in the comments, because it really helps me out with the algorithm. Bye guys.